Now let's go ahead and create our task model. So we're going to be able to encapsulate task data together. And in order to do that, we're going to first create a group so that we can store all these files together. So we're going to do a file, new group, and we're going to go ahead and give this group a name. So let's call this models. And let's go to file, new file. And we're going to choose iOS Cocoa Touch Objective-C class. And we're going to make this a subclass of NSObject. And let's call this CC task. And I can go ahead and press next and press create. Notice I have target selected, very important. So I now have a task class. And notice that it's a subclass of NSObject. And we're going to go ahead and add some properties to our task model. So let's go ahead and type in app property, strong, non-atomic. And the first thing we need for our task is going to be a title. Right? The user is going to be able to add a title in for their task. We also need a description. So let's go ahead and do strong, non-atomic. We can say on a string, description. And let's add a date. So we're going to do app property, strong, non-atomic. And dates have their own objects. So we're going to use NSDate. And we're going to simply call the variable here date. And we also want to know whether or not our user has completed their task. Well, let's go ahead and do app property, non-atomic. And notice that we're not doing strong here. So this is a hint that we're about to use a primitive. Well, a task can either be completed or is not completed. So let's simply say bool is completed. It sounds like we're asking yes or no question. Is my task completed? And if it's yes, right, we're going to be able to do some logic. And if it's no, we're going to be able to do a different set of logic. So finally, we want to create a custom initializer. And the reason we're going to do this is, like in our previous demos together, we're going to be saving this task to core data. So we're going to have to be converting all these properties intoplists, and it's going to be really handy to have a custom initializer. So let's do ID, init with data, and we're going to pass in an NS dictionary, and we're going to call that name, that variable name data. So great, now we've set up the header file for my task object. Next, we're going to have to actually implement my custom initializer.